Alright gang, welcome back to our Skyefin Aquafarm series here in Kinlaig. It is September, and we are very, very behind on getting the straw up off the ground, but we're going to go ahead and do so now. Lots and lots of weeds are growing in here, so as soon as we get all this straw picked up, we will be getting the plow out and plowing this field up. We do have to do our normal maintenance type of stuff that we normally do, which is moving the fish around, fish food, etc., etc. And yeah, we'll kind of go from there. So next month, we should have 2 fields ready to harvest, and then the following month we'll have another field ready to harvest. So, like I mentioned in the last episode, realistically, we're looking at a November or at the very latest December ending here for this series. So things are relatively going well for us. How's everyone doing? Hope you're all doing well. We have to get this straw up. We've got to plow this field up. We're going to reseed this with wheat, barley, whatever it is we decide to do. I also have the forklift up here at our second fish food factory. I need to move that back down to our aquafarm, or our fish breeding aquafarm portion. So we'll do that today as well. That way we can move some of those pallets around. And yeah, that's the main objectives for today. Lots and lots and lots of weeds in this field, so this is going to be a little bit hard to see sometimes, depending on where the weeds are, but I think for the most part we'll be able to find the straw paths that are remaining, at least. We've got quite a number of fish that have spawned from the lake. I can also tell you that our offshore aquafarm, or offshore agriculture aquafarm, still has a little bit of fish food. It did go through all of the salmon we put in there, so technically we will probably throw another pallet of salmon, maybe 2 in there. Probably I'll put 2 in there, because that should 100% get through the rest of that fish food, right? It really should. So we may have a little bit of salmon left over when it's all said and done, but you know, if we do, we can literally just turn on the regular salmon selling without the fish food, right? And just kind of go from there. Now, the mill is still chewing through everything that we've put in there. It is, obviously, it's a slow process, but it is still chewing through it and sending stuff around. So if we kind of take a look at our fish food factory, decent amount of flour and canola in there now. And then the other one, obviously, it's kind of stayed the same for the most part. But there is still quite a bit in the grain mill, as you can see here. There's still a significant amount that it's trying to chew through. So it is taking a little bit longer because we have so many running at the same time, but that's okay. It's not a big deal as long as we're able to continue to distribute that to our fish food factories. Hopefully we'll be able to truly say that we have a self-sufficient farm when it comes to supplying it with, you know, the products required for fish food, right? Because that was really the basic end goal for this series, was to get to a point where we didn't necessarily have to go to the shop and buy fish food, and we could literally just utilize the fish food from our own productions. Now, the problem really became in this series was after we figured out buying the fish food and figured out truly how slow it was, that we would need a second one. So we put a second one down recently, and hopefully that's sufficient enough for us to be able to accomplish the remainder of what we're looking for, and that really has to do with, you know, sending all the fish food around to the different lakes and stuff, right? Now, I think the big problem we have here is we do have this on distributing. There's no soybeans in there right now, but eventually when it turns on, I may have to turn it off of distributing, just because we're kind of going away from the offshore agriculture. I didn't really like it. I don't really like it, I should say. So I don't really want it to send stuff there automatically. So it means we might have to go back to more of a manual approach, which is what we've been doing with our fish breeding, right? We've been kind of going to a manual approach of actually taking them around and depositing them wherever they need to go. We're probably going to have to kind of continue that, I guess, is what I'm trying to get at as we move forward and actually start making fish food, right? But that's okay. Now, this series specifically will have a continuation to it. It will not be here in Scotland or wherever this technically is based off of. We think it's Scotland, but it wasn't really 100% confirmed. We will have a continuation for Z's adventure, Z's story, whatever you want to call it. There will be a continuation. I know I've mentioned this briefly in the past. I'm going to mention it briefly again here, just in case you're watching this and try to keep you interested in seeing what's going to come next. There is going to be a little bit of break, I will admit that, because we've got enough series kind of running right now. We need to kind of get one of those other series either done or moved around. More than likely, when the competitive one-tile challenge is done, that's when we'll start to consider to bring this back. Which really won't be that long, but you get the point. I will be going, relatively speaking, back home. That's really the only major thing I'm going to give away for where we go next. But I am going to be going back home. I will be taking all of the amount of money that we make off of selling this farm with me. There will be a reason for that. It will make a lot more sense once you see what's happening. And yeah, we'll kind of leave it at that. But just know that we're going to have a decent amount of money to start with. But, you know, when the series actually begins, there may be a significant amount less. It really depends on how much the land is. I'm not going to go any further than that because I feel like I'm going to start giving things away. But, yeah, we're going to have a decent amount of money to bring over there, and there's going to be a decent amount of things that happen because of that. So we will see how this all pans out, but it's going to be pretty good, I think. I think you're going to like it. I hope you will. All right, so there's a full load of straw, and I'm pretty sure straw is not going to be until November, December. I'm almost positive, right? December, right? So the price isn't atrocious right now, but realistically, we might as well go ahead and just store it for the time being and wait and sell it, right before we end up selling this farm. You may as well sell it then, right? Get the most money we can out of that so we can bring the most money with us when we go back home. So we'll utilize the silage pole to our advantage here, or silage stick, but we're really going to just be utilizing it to store our straw. Now, today we also need to drill this field. I didn't mention that, but I do want to drill this field. We are going to put canola in that field, I think. I think I've made that decision up. I don't think we need a whole lot of flour anymore. Just because, I mean, if you just look at the fish food factories, they're both... Well, this one's not as much, but this one almost maxed out, right? And we still have plenty in here that is chewing through. So, in my eyes, I don't really think we need a whole lot of that. That's probably the thing we need the least of. So, or maybe we make this one canola and we make that one a wheat field. That probably would make a little more sense. Since we already have another canola field, that probably would make more sense, wouldn't it? Because this is our canola field, so we can make that one and this one a canola field, and then... Or, I'm sorry, this one and this one a canola field, and this could be our... Well, I don't know. Is that bigger than this? It kind of feels like it is. I bet it is. I don't know. I guess we'll figure that out here a little bit later on in today's episode, but... First thing we got to do, obviously, is get the rest of this straw up. Because I cannot put a worker on doing this. This has to be something we do manually, so we're going to go ahead and do that. And then I more than likely will put a worker on plowing this field up while we go ahead and drill that field over there. We had the worker doing a lot of the drilling recently, so it's kind of our turn to take a stab at doing that. So we'll put the worker on doing the plowing. But we got a ways to go here. We've got a lot more up and downs to do here. Probably another full load, I would suspect, before we're done here. If it's not a full load, it'll be pretty close. So we'll get to work, and we will get the rest of this all picked up, and then get started on everything else, like I mentioned. All right, we've got that field all drilled up. Now, the problem with this field, unfortunately, is that we kind of created it, right? So it doesn't really give us the option for any kind of precision farming of any sort, which is unfortunate, but, you know, whatever. It is what it is. And we got to do my favorite thing in the world, which is rolling. We'll do a quick autosave here. Got the worker started. I'm putting wheat in on the small field over here, so we've got the worker going on that. But I'll just kind of give you ballpark your ideas. I'm telling you why. Maybe it does let me have the Berkshire soil. Okay, never mind. It didn't do it in the last episode, so I didn't think it was going to today, but evidently I was incorrect in that statement. That's too late now, though. I've already drilled it, so it is what it is, I guess. There's not really much I can do about it. It's going to say everything's bad because, well, quite frankly, I didn't have that purchased, and I swear in the last episode we looked at it, and it didn't allow us to do it, so I don't know, weird. Oh well, nothing I can do about it now at this point, so it's too late now. So we're going to roll this field, then we're going to put some pH lime down. We'll put some lime down for the pH value, which that we should hopefully be able to see here, hopefully on this now. It is almost entirely loam, this field, so that's relatively a good thing. We may have to put some fertilizer down in the next episode since it's not realizing that it's there. May have to waste a little bit of money doing that, or I just let it be. You know, whatever. Doesn't really make that big of a difference, and you know, we're not really going to be harvesting this field before the end of the series, so it's not a huge deal at this point, but it is unfortunate. I guess I should have checked that before we started. But, you know, as I mentioned, the last episode we looked at it after we had the field set, and it didn't even give us the option to do it, so that or I just did something wrong, which very well could have, right? I very well could have. It's a much larger field than it actually looks like, right? If you're just looking at it from this angle, I mean, it definitely is a larger field than what it feels like when you're in the map, right? Looking at it from here, it doesn't look like it's that big of a field, but it really is. It's a nice size field, this. Luckily, our roller that we're utilizing is relatively large for the size of most of our fields, so and it goes at 12 miles per hour, right? So it doesn't take us too long, which is a good thing. If it took a long time, I would probably just not even do the rolling, as a matter of fact, because you all know how much I actually love doing rolling. And we're sliding all over the place. The drilling of this field was doing some weird stuff. The lines were going kind of all over the place. It was a bit weird. I'm sure you noticed it in the time lapse, and maybe if I actually had the lines turned on to see, maybe I would have had a better, you know, opportunity of doing something a little bit better. But I just don't like the lines on. I've said that many times before in the past, and I don't know what it is. It's the same thing for me all around the board, you know, and it's the reason why I don't utilize the little mini map in the right-hand corner or left-hand corner, excuse me, all that often. I don't like tons of stuff on the screen. I like just, you know, letting the scenery do the work for you. I don't like having everything all over the screen, and I feel like there's already plenty on the screen as it is for this game, right? There's something in pretty much every corner now at this point, so I don't know. It's just personal preference why I don't have the lines on there. I know it probably doesn't bother anybody, but just for me, that's what I prefer. So I don't have them on, and I know sometimes that, you know, makes me miss some things, but that's okay. I'm okay with it. Looks like it's relatively normal for the rolling in comparison to what we were doing to the drilling. I don't know why, but it had... Sometimes we were going up and down the traditional way, like we're doing now, like I would have expected us to do on this field, and then other times it had us going at an angle. It was very weird the way that it was mapping out the field, I guess is how I should put it. We got a couple more passes of this and we're done, and then we're going to put lime down on this field. I'm also going to put lime down on the other field. We probably should roll the other field as well, so there's quite a lot to do, actually. Speaking of that, since there is so much to do, they need more fish food. I'm going to turn those off. We're just wasting money. I should have turned them off earlier. That's a mistake on me, but... yeah, so we're going to have to get some fish food down there, too. There's a lot to do. May not get all of that done, as a matter of fact. How are our lakes doing? Relatively well. Relatively well. Kind of feeling like we might need a third tractor here at this point. Seems a little pointless to buy it this late in the series, but it kind of feels like we need one, right? So we could have 2 workers going, and then we could do some more of the maintenance errand type of stuff that we need to do, right? Alright, this field's pretty much done besides the lime at this point. Don't know how the workers getting on over there. I would assume they're pretty close to being done if they're not already done. Nope, they're still going. I see them over there. Alright, perfect. We can fold this up for right now. We're going to leave it over here because we're going to need it again as soon as the worker's done with that field. Let's grab the spreader. We'll utilize that and put some lime down on that field over there that we just finished rolling. There should be enough lime for this field. Oh yeah, we're going to a nice bluish green. Loam, I'm telling you, that's the best one. That's what you want for a field. All right, well, all of that is done. I've got the worker doing the rolling up there in that field. I know somebody will probably say it's not worth the money to do, and I know, I understand that, but I'm going to roll it anyway. Got all the fish put up on here as well, and we're going to go and do our normal maintenance type of stuff now. We're going to drop them off at the different lakes. I will stop by at the offshore agriculture aqua farm, throw a few of the salmon in there, probably 2, as I mentioned at the beginning of the episode. Probably 2. Just try to get that completely out of fish food, if at all possible. Hopefully we, time it. Or I say time it, hopefully, the 2 pallets that we're going to put in there, hopefully that's sufficient for it. If there's a small amount of fish food left, then I think we did a good job. If there's no fish food left and still some salmon in there, then we kind of screwed that up a little bit, but... Right, I'm going to move this back over in the spot it's in here. Can't really pick up the fish food. There's no mod for that on ModHub. So this one, unfortunately, cannot continue to be picked up. Actually, I think it needs to be moved a little bit more than I moved it there. So we'll push it a little bit further here. Somewhere in that range. Hopefully that's right. Close enough, at least. Right, so they should be, the lakes, rather, they should be full now. Let's just verify it after this quick autosave here. They are. They need fish food, but otherwise they're fine. And they really don't need fish food. They can last on that amount of fish food for a while, as a matter of fact. So they don't really, but soon enough they will. I'm going to go ahead and turn this off of distributing because I know I'm going to screw it up and leave it on and put soybeans in it next month, and then it's going to start distributing it to our offshore, which we do not want it to do, right? So I'm going to turn that off for the time being. So we're going to head down to the harbor. We're going to put 2 pallets of young salmon into the offshore agriculture production. I'm going to do it the same way I did last time, which is kind of huck them over the railing there and hope for the best, and then we'll go and sell the remainder of this and go from there. Now, I could put some trout in there, too, the offshore, but I'm kind of just focusing on the adult salmon, I think, at this point. Mostly because the adult salmon make more money for us, so you might as well utilize the rest of that fish food for the adult salmon, right? So, all right, we're here. I just saw an advertisement here in the game for FarmCon. Man, I would love to go to that at some point. I don't know when I'm ever going to be able to do it, but that would be pretty fun. Evidently, it's in August, so maybe one day. Maybe one day I'll have the time, the money to go to that. I don't think it'll be this year, but, maybe I'll look into it. I don't even know where it is, though. Just really depends on where it is for me. And these pallets are just moving all over the place, so I'm going to strap them down before worse things happen, before they start falling off and disaster happens, because they're all over the place, and it's really a lot to do with the fact that some of them are, they're missing boxes of the fish because we put some of that into the lake, but they're all over the place there. We don't really want to lose any more of them if we can help it. All right, I think, yeah, we've got 4,000 liters of salmon in there, so we're good. And then I just need to turn it on, and boom, perfect. And it's unselling. That should, hopefully, get rid of the remainder of the fish food in there, or most of it at least. So that way we feel like we didn't waste a ton of money, right? I'm going to go in the wrong way. We're supposed to go the other way. I'm going to go this way. Doesn't really matter for the selling purposes, but... All right, nice. 34,888 plus a $2,799 environmental score reward. That puts us at 140. We do need to buy more fish food. We're going to buy a bunch. Puts us down under what we started with, but that's okay. Most of it was paid for by the fish we just sold. No, the worker is likely done. I didn't really pay attention. I should have, but the worker is likely done with the rolling at this point. And all of this fish food that I'm going to bring this time, it's all going to go directly to our breeding location. I'm not going to put any in the fish lakes. They've got enough, so we'll wait 1 month and then maybe add some to there. We'll just put all of this directly to the breeding. That way, hopefully, we can get a decent amount for next month, right? All right, Byron, what are you doing, buddy? Don't start. Don't you break. He's gonna break check me. I can already tell you he's gonna break check me. Here he comes, right before I get ready to turn. You ready? Here we go. Oh, he didn't do it. I was a few seconds away though from catching him, and he would have done it. I made some minor changes as well to, this is much later in the episode to talk about this than I probably should have, but made some changes to the thumbnails a little bit. I've been kind of messing around with them a little bit lately. You've probably noticed that we've had some different ones, multiple different ones, as a matter of fact. Just trying to, spruce things up, make it look a little bit better. I think I've changed them like 2 or 3 times now, but I think I've finally, decided on what I'm going to do there. I just really like the idea of having the background be some kind of an image that is in reference to whatever the series is about. I really liked that, and I kind of had that going for the 2 or 3 that we've been working through and trying to find the right one. But it just didn't seem, either one just seemed like it was too intrusive to the image itself, or the other one just didn't seem, it kind of seemed out of place a little bit. So I think the one we have now is a pretty good one. It doesn't show a ton of that image, but it does give enough, I think, to really drive home what I'm trying to go for. So we've modified that. So, whenever the time permits, it's obviously not going to be all the time, but maybe whenever I'm playing, another game with friends, like a shooter game or something that's not this, and I've got some time waiting to get into a match or something like that, I can work on trying to update older thumbnails to kind of match that. I really like the one I created for this one. I really, really like it. So I really would honestly like to update all of the images to fit this one. Nothing wrong with the little logo we created for it at the beginning, but I just really like the new design a lot better. It's very minimalistic, kind of, and I like that, so I just think it looks a little bit more professional. Maybe it doesn't. I don't know. It's just my personal preference on it, though. I think it does. So we're going to go with it. All right. We just got to back this up. That was a perfect stack job. Well, I mean, there's not many times in this in this game that I can say I've done that. I mean, they're almost exactly on top of each other. Now, just don't flip it this time, see? Don't flip it. You gotta be going slow around these corners. Well, not only did I flip it once, I flipped it twice. I don't know. I feel like some of the corners that I'm flipping it on, they're not that sharp, and it's still... whatever. Anyway, that's my new bad thing, I guess. It's not even the stacking anymore. It's now flipping the thing, so whatever. Anyway. We're back here, though, so we're going to drop these off here, and we'll get this back up and running once again. Yeah, it took literally every single bit of that. That's crazy. All right, so we'll put them both on, and they should be going. And we are going to leave the episode at that point. Gang, I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, make sure you smash the like, subscribe button. In the case you've yet to do so, they are free to do. They help me out an absolute ton. If you have any thoughts, questions, comments, or ideas, let me know down below. I'm happy to get back to you on those. Thanks to my members. Cannot thank them enough for all their continued support. It really does mean the world. There is a link down below if you want early access to videos like this one, including the competitive one-tile challenge and the brand new series that we've been running on the channel who have been very successful. The Triple Threat Challenge and the Island Preservation Challenge, or as I like to call it, the Extreme Island Survival. There's a Discord down below if you want to join that. Well, I'm just flipping things left and right. This is wonderful. Things are going great here. Things are great. I don't know what you guys are talking about. I'm perfect at this game. I don't know what you're talking about. There's a Discord link down below if you want to join that. I share videos from my second channel on there. There's also a link to my second channel down below. Videos that I do on here as well. We share all of that on here, or on that Discord rather. Discussions, if you want to share anything that you're working on, images, live streams, YouTube videos, whatever it may be, there's an option for you there. I think that's all I got. Thanks so much for watching, gang. Thanks so much for your continued support, as always. And I'll see you next time.